Alright, well hello YouTube, it's Nailfoot here doing another video of 7 Days to Die. I've been enjoying this game so much, I figured I would just keep on doing my videos here. So this is basically going to be part 2. First video we showed you the basics, your first 10 minutes, and hopefully that video was helpful to you, and hopefully this one will be as well. If you have played, the first couple of hours here, maybe you're around noon, or as you can see me, I'm coming up on 3 p.m. in the afternoon. Hopefully your inventory will look, maybe something like this. You've picked up some food, hopefully a few extra bottles of water, hopefully a glass jar, empty glass jar. We will need those for a mold. Once we've made those into a mold, glass jars and water will basically become no problem. I've already broken some of the large rocks, so we have iron, we have coal. I chopped down some trees, so we have our basics here. You'll want to find a place that you would like to call home. If we pull out our map, you can see I'm situated over this little house on Lake Road, which conveniently goes to a lake. This seems like it might be a pretty good area. We're close to water. We have lots of flat land, and the building from here looks to be pretty large. So we're going to go down here and investigate. If we run into a few zombies, we'll just have to take them out. I see there's one zombie over that way, according to the radar, but I don't think we'll worry about that one. It's a little bit far away. So let's see what we run into here. Okay, I am going to go around the outside first. I can already hear one. Feel free, of course, to fast forward through this while we're clearing the house, because basically you get the idea here. We don't see any zombies outside. We can tell there is one inside somewhere. There he is. And he is looking down the wall. Okay, lag. We have a massive lag here, which is to be expected. We are still working on an alpha, of course. Okay, so this actually doesn't look too bad. We need to block up this back door, but we can close this one. Ah, yes, I actually like this. It even has a campfire. We don't have to manufacture one. Alright, so, first thing we're going to do is work to make this place secure. And this will, basically, it's going to be a point that you want to do anywhere in the, whatever you choose to be your home. You'll want to secure the place. I personally like using the log cabin wood because it's very quick to make, and it seems to be pretty durable as well. You get quite an advance notice before the zombies are able to get through it. But, that's obviously personal preference. You could make other types of blocks, depending on what you've got at this time. So, that will probably be plenty. If not, we can always manufacture some more. I am going to go ahead and jam up this back door. See, eventually you might consider putting an actual door here, maybe a metal door, but for now, blocking it up like that should be sufficient. I don't think the zombies can get through these windows because they are only one tall. And we'll just take a peek upstairs. Okay. Oh, so we have a dead body up here that we should investigate. Obviously, when you find your shelter, you're going to go around and search everything there. Hopefully you find some more food, some painkillers like I just did. Ooh, and a cooking pot. I did not need to get that chair. Okay, bye-bye chair. Hopefully you found a cooking pot somewhere. If not, those will be very expensive to craft, but certainly something you can do. Okay, more bottles. We need those. Alright, so once you've cleared your place out, you feel good that you've explored it, you're going to want to craft a campfire. That's basically the first thing coincidentally, I started with one, but we're going to craft one anyway. So, we will go through our list here, find our recipe for a campfire, see that we need to lay stones out like this, and craft a campfire. Alright, once we've crafted our campfire, I'm just going to put him right there because it doesn't matter. We are also going to craft a forge. A forge is going to be very, very important. So we will once again look into our crafting menu under forge. Hopefully you have found some short iron pipes. Those seem to be very common to find in cars. Zombies will carry them. Zombies seem to carry just about everything. And once you have crafted a forge, we can get on into some other things here that I want to show you. A little bit more advanced that will help you survive through, day 2, day 3, that sort of thing. While we're crafting here, those short iron pipes, they can also be found in air conditioning units that you'll see attached to the sides of buildings. They're actually pretty common. You can craft them if you absolutely need to. I don't see that would be an issue because you're going to run across so many. Okay. I can hear a zombie. Let's see. Where do we want to make this thing? That will be fun. Okay, I'm going to go take care of this zombie, and then I'll be right back. Okay, so we have killed our zombies, and we're back in the house. I also took the liberty of going ahead and searching this place here. Found a lot of empty bottles, found quite a bit more water, so this was actually a very good place to set up and make some of the initial points that I want to make a little bit of a moot point. But perhaps you won't have this good of a startup, or eventually you're going to need to do this anyway. So, what does our sign here say? Camping, rest area, no dumping. Okay, well, I don't think I will do any dumping. Alright, we are going to want to get some clay. Clay appears to be a random drop from dirt digging. So, what you would do, just hook out your trusty pickaxe and start digging. If you have been lucky and you found a shovel in a car or elsewhere, then this will be much easier for you. You won't be able to craft a shovel if you haven't found one until we've gone through this. So, once again, while I'm digging up some clay here, I will go ahead and just skip forward a bit, and I'll see you in a second. Okay, so we have finished digging for some clay. Mined out a little bit of a hole here. If we look at our inventory, picked up, some dirt. We picked up 6 clay. Doesn't sound like a lot, but clay actually goes pretty good. Those 6 clay will produce us 54 lumps of clay. We're obviously not going to craft... well, actually, you know what? I think we will. We'll just go ahead and craft all 54. I don't think there's any purpose for loose clay other than to craft lumps of clay. And we will need quite a lot of those for the various molds and things that we're going to be making here in a moment. So we're almost done here. Alright, so we will take our lumps of clay, and we'll head back home. Now, yeah, this is actually pretty good timing because it's becoming dark. And dark time is a good time to go ahead and do your crafting when you don't want to be out. On the settings I have it here, the zombies are not that much more difficult, but that might not be the settings you choose. So, anyway, we will go to our furnace. We see right off the bat we need to put in some sort of fuel, some sort of metal, and a mold. We need to craft the molds. So, if we go to our inventory, we can see the various molds that we can craft. With the clay and the other items we have, we can craft all these molds. The iron ingot mold is perhaps the most important. And if not the most important, it's certainly the most common. The good thing about a mold is once you craft it, you don't need to craft it again. We also want to craft a jar mold. This is where the empty jar comes in handy. Hopefully you have one. Because once you do this, and you get out to the desert and you have a good source of crushed sand, you will never have to worry about running out of jars again. And you can purify jars of murky water just about anywhere. We're not going to get into that on this video. Maybe I'll do another video on food and whatnot. So, once we have our mold, in this case we're going to do iron ingots. we need to put in some type of metal. The iron fragments have come from the boulders. You can see we need at least 3 pounds. What I've put in there is 11.3. And we need to put in some sort of fuel. So the 42 lumps of fuel that I put in there, lumps of coal, will burn for 27 minutes. We don't need to burn for 27 minutes, quite obviously. And if you just leave them in there, you'll just waste the fuel. So if you plan on crafting and going away, you may want to calculate how much fuel. So anyway, we see that we have crafted 1 iron ingot. And we're just going to continue to craft iron ingots here. Okay, so we've crafted our iron ingots. See that we produced 3 of those. You might want to watch this because if you don't have quite enough iron fragments, and if I can grab the right things here, I will show you. We need at least 3 pounds of iron to craft 1 iron ingot. My 9 iron fragments, only 2.3. It would burn those 9 and not give you an iron ingot, and they would just be gone. So for efficiency's sake, you may want to watch that. At some point, it's not going to matter. Anyway, we have our iron ingots now. With that, we can craft quite a lot of things. Perhaps the most important thing to craft would be a shovel, or maybe even a gardening hoe, depending on what you're going to want to do. But you will see various recipes here have lit up. A fire axe would actually be another good option because that's actually works really well as a weapon. The shovel, oh, I didn't craft 4, only crafted 3. So you know what? Let's go ahead and craft that fire axe. We'll put our 2 iron ingots down, put our sticks down, and craft. The fire axe can actually take the place of your stone axe and your club. It's actually very impressive. If we see here, it has a durability of 500, as opposed to a club's durability of 75, and a stone axe's durability of 250. The stone axe is much simpler to make, so you just have to make a judgment call there as to whether it's worth the speed of the fire axe to use up some of your materials. So anyway, that's the basics of that. We have our jar mold, we have our iron ingot mold, and basically we are set now. Obviously this depends a lot on getting food, which you can see, I've gotten a lot of food. If we take a look at our campfire that we laid down, very similar setup to the forge. We put in our cooking pot, we decide what fuel we want to put in, which I'm not going to put in right now, and then you put in your recipe. With the items that I have, I can create boiled rabbit, which I've happened to pick up a skinned rabbit. I did not skin that rabbit, I just happened to pick him up. And I know he takes a certain amount of water. I don't know how much, but we will find out. Okay, we want to cook. And we know we have way more fuel in there than we need. Okay, so there is a boiled rabbit, and it only took the 1 water. Alright, boiled rabbit is actually really good for fullness and health. Knocks your hydration down just a touch, but all in all, very good food. So hopefully you can hunt some rabbits. One last thing I want to show you in this video is the basics of combining some of the scrap that you find. For example, the bullet casings. We will craft these into scrap brass. You'll find brass trophies everywhere. Once again, scrap brass, and candlesticks as well. Candlesticks takes a little bit longer. We should get quite a bit more brass out of the candlesticks, though. Okay. Same thing if you find any tin cans laying around, and I thought I had some empty tin cans, but apparently I don't. Maybe I already scrapped those. I'm not quite sure. Anyway, If you find the empty tin can, looks just like a can laying on its side with the top cut open, very obvious, you can craft that for scrap iron. Scrap iron is used for a variety of tools. As a matter of fact, let's just scrap some, oh no, that makes metal strips, I'm sorry, which is actually used to repair the fire axe. So we won't get into that. And I guess then we will just call this a good place to cut off the video. I hope that learning about the forge and the campfire and getting clay and the exposure to some of the recipes was helpful. Maybe we'll make another video about going through recipes in more detail. But anyway, leave me some comments. Let me know if there are other videos you'd like to see. And thanks a lot. Have fun.